Hi, Sigrun. It's an honor to me that you are a guest in my YouTube videos. And I work with you since 4.5 years already. And it's really nice to talk to you because what me really catched is your vision. And maybe you can introduce a little bit what are you doing and how did it come that you are doing what you are doing?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, Claudia. It's a true honor to be on your YouTube channel. So amazing. Uh, so when I started my business, I don't think I was clear on my vision right away. I think sometimes, especially women, we go into business because we want freedom. We want flexibility. We want to maybe work from home or be location independent. So I didn't realize until later that what was really driving me was my why. And I was 16 years old when I discovered my mission in life. I didn't realize it back then it would be my mission, but I was making my own clothes for several years, inspired my mother and grandmother. And then I was visiting this course on how to create your own sewing patterns. I was very determined to be better and better at making my own clothes. And I wanted to be able to design my own clothes. That was the goal. And so this was the intermediary step. And this was an 8-week course at a dressmaker's home. And I was 16 and they were in their 40s and 50s, our age now, Claudia. And we didn't have much in common besides the sewing part. So I just listened to their conversations and they were so, I don't know, if you kind of like, I realized I didn't want to be like them. There was like this, they hadn't followed their dreams. Mm-hmm. And there was a feeling that they were a bit like, oh, I had children and then somehow their life was over and you can't realize their dreams. And we know that's not true. We have the examples all around us. And they talked about their dreams and said, yeah, because I have children, because I got married, and all these other reasons that we know, time, money, skills. Most of it, well, if not all of it, is just in our heads, And I got very upset. I got frustrated and angry, not with the women themselves, but there was a part of me like, I don't want to be like them when I'm that age. I want to be the opposite. I want to be the one that says, I did it all. I followed my dreams. There is nothing that I didn't do that I wanted to do. So listening to these women on and on, week after week, not having fulfilled their dreams, being frustrated, and actually the German word catches it, verbittert?
Verbittert, yes.
Yeah, sometimes I just know the German word. I don't know the English words for verbittert. Yeah, it's like this, oh, I could have, I should have, but they didn't. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's also never too late. They could have done it at the age 40, 50 to follow their dreams, but somehow they felt, no, I didn't follow my dreams. And so I'll just have to. They're basically following someone else's dream. They are in a box like, oh yeah, you should be doing this and that. And they didn't dare to step out of the box. And I decided, first of all, not to have children. I know you can absolutely make your dreams come true when you have children, but it was still a conscious choice. I was never into kids. I never wanted to babysit children. I played with cars and I did a lot of drawing. I like to make my own clothes. But I did get bonus children later in life. They are now 17 and 18. Second decision I took was to always make my dreams come true. Not be one of those women who says, okay, I should have. Also not to let a man stop me. I think this was a really important one. If I look back at my life, to realize when you have the right partner and when not. Mm-hmm. Because if your husband or partner in life, or it could be a wife or a spouse, whatever we define those roles, if they are not supporting your dreams, then they are the wrong one. And the last but not least, I wanted to do something about gender equality. I saw this, the root cause of the whole issue is that the women didn't have enough role models to make their dreams come true, or that society expected them to be in those roles of these supportive roles, like a woman should take care of the children, take care of the husband, take care of the aging parents, be there for everybody except herself. And so when I started my business, I had forgotten about this, but I have actually lived my life with these principles. Today I'm in my third long-term relationship. It's my first marriage. Didn't marry the other guy, so that was a good one, good decision. But I was 8 years together with my first partner, 7 years with another one. I'm thinking of the German word again, Lebensabschnittspartner. And then I met my husband 14 years ago. And he's my biggest supporter and toughest critic. And if I want to fly to Australia for a week, he said, yeah, go for it. It's about having someone there who understands you and your dreams and doesn't hold you back. I'm not saying that if I was out every day, every evening, I was out doing something, then that's not a relationship. Relationship is still doing things together, but then supporting the dreams of the other person and not standing in their way. And that is so important. Yeah. And so I started my business mostly just to, because I couldn't get a job and then I had to do something. And then I had the freedom mindset, I want flexibility, I want location independent, I want to live in both Zurich, Switzerland and Reykjavik, Iceland. And it wasn't until maybe in my second year that I had a wake-up call. I was like, oh, I am now found how to accelerate gender equality. I found what I want to stand for. And that all came back from that story when I was 16 years old.
This is so inspiring, and listening to your story, I think there are 5 main topics we could discuss for a week. Yes. But there are so many things which resonated with me because I also always followed my dreams and never let stop anybody. I knew what I wanted and I lived kind of rebellious life sometimes, yes. But my story, I exhausted me completely, yes. And maybe you can tell us a little bit more, as you're working with so many women. If we are passionate about the topic, if we follow our dreams, we also make some mistakes, yes.
Yeah.
And so I always say it openly, you saved my life, I think, yes. Because you helped me to focus, to structure my business, to think more about myself and my needs and all this. And maybe from your experience, because you worked with thousands of women, are there 2 or 3 main mistakes we make always? Why do we exhaust us so much?
I think it's very natural when you're passionate about something that you just go full into it and you forget about time. You're just focused. And entrepreneurship is the great thing that we can actually do that. We can create something out of nothing, and we could be working around the clock endlessly. But it's super important to find balance in that too, and take care of yourself. And so I'm not a huge fan of the word self-care. I'm just thinking more like balance. Like, for instance, I would get pain if I sit at my desk all day and don't go out for a walk in the middle of the day. So that's what I need to do. I know I need to do that. Also, my husband is pretty good at pulling me away from the computer in the evening, so I don't sit in the evening at the computer. So it's finding those habits, rituals, friends, going out for dinner, for instance, is a good excuse not to work in the evening. You can still talk about the business, you can think about it, but you're not at your desk, I also think retreats or ways to, like, where you actually are stepping away from your business, but you're working on your business, is a great way to actually recharge, because you're thinking differently about your business and you see some other things. So
That's so important. Most of us are so in the hamster wheel that we are always in the business instead of working on the business.
Yeah, I would say that's probably the biggest mistake, that in the business and the busyness, you know, for instance, social media can be a very dangerous thing because you can spend so much time on it, but you don't know what's the return on investment. You don't know what does all this stuff on social media bring. The most successful entrepreneurs do not have their social media apps on their phone. So I think it's also finding this way of like, hey, I need to be on social media because we need to promote our businesses, connect with people that might be interested in working with us. But how can you not make it this drug? They're trying to make it into a drug. The algorithm is designed to draw you in and make you scroll and scroll. And suddenly you look at the clock and I said, it's been an hour and I was supposed to do something different. So I think it's all these personal habits that women, I'm not saying men don't have it, but I feel when you become your own boss, there's no one to tell you what to do and when working hours are and how do you kind of keep balance. This is, you are the employee and the employer. And you're often the toughest employer you could ever have because you push yourself too much forward. So it's finding this balance on doing meaningful work. So for instance, you know it from writing all your books.
Yeah.
That's meaningful work. You are creating content that lasts for centuries. And so that time is well invested versus a social media post. You're lucky if it lasts for 3 days.
Yeah, that's an interesting site. Yeah.
Yeah. So when we pick what we work on is to balance out all this meaningful work that maybe doesn't give us an instant return. You know, you're not going to be a millionaire overnight because you wrote a book, but what is the long-term effect of that book on your business versus the long-term effect of a social media post is this much. Now, if you don't post on social media, people are not going to know that you exist. So it's finding this balance of the work that will last for a long time. I also think YouTube videos, by the way, last a long time. I think it's, I was recently talking to someone and he said it was 7 years. Wow. You know, it's of course longer. You can still find 10-year-old videos on YouTube, but he was just thinking about how long does it pop up? How old videos are people watching? And he said about 7 years. And think about that compared to social media. So your time is well invested creating YouTube videos, writing book, and you do a bit of social media to let people know. So it's finding this balance. I wasted a lot of time in Facebook groups in the beginning of my business. I didn't know what I should do because I didn't really have a business yet. So I was just, and a lot of this can be very, very concentrated. So I think when we've talked all about that, balancing what type of work you do, another part of it is to really be focused. You know, you have a vision, you have a goal for your business, and not to constantly be distracted by shiny object syndrome. And there are so many opportunities. You know, we are subscribed to newsletters. We scroll through the news feed of Facebook and other social media, and we're like, wow, you can do this. There's this new tool, or there's this new program, and who knows what. And then suddenly it's a rabbit hole. And you have wasted time on doing things that do not bring your business forward.
Yes, I know this so well, and because I pay you a lot of money that you help me to keep the focus, and I really need this because the danger is you start this project and this project and this project, and you confuse your clients. That's a real big danger. And you exhaust yourself and you never have the things done. So you feel not satisfied because everything is half done.
Yeah. And that is, of course, what we have as entrepreneur. We love to start things. We are not so good at finishing them. Sometimes we need a program to help us finish things, create an online course or whatever we need to do, or a coach. Or, at some point we have a team, and then we have the accountability towards team members, and we need to stick to our promises. So I would say the third one I want to mention is then actually building a proper business structure. It gets a little bit forgotten when you build an online business. Oh, it's all about marketing and sale. How do I market my business? How do I sell? But there's this whole thing behind the scenes that makes a business great, sustainable and profitable. It's about, cash flow, managing cash flow. If cash flow is not there, you don't have a business. Profitability, which programs are profitable. Maybe you're running 3 programs and 2 of them are not profitable. It's also hard for people to stop doing something that doesn't make sense. So I think it's the whole thing of we could call this all operations. It's basically at some point you need to face the fact that if you do not invest some time into operations, then you also don't have a running business, because you can do lots of marketing, lots of sales, but who is executing the programs? Who is making sure the invoices go out? Who is making sure the customers pay? What's the follow-up system if something falls through the crack? And it's a lot more work as your business grows than you think about. In the beginning, it's just like, an hour a week or whatever, and then it grows over time. And I think if you've never run a business before, this is something that women struggle with a little bit.
Yes, that's true. And as you mentioned, all this stuff, I think that's the big difference when you have a hobby or you have a business. Yes. And so as I worked as a health professional, and I'm in the area of many health professionals, and if I ask the yearly revenue, which is between 20,000 maybe to 35 or 40,000, they don't see themselves as entrepreneur. It's more like, yes, they are working all the time, but they don't get well paid. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's also a female issue. On one hand, it's in the healthcare profession, those who go into those jobs want to help people, and they think more about helping people than making money. But the thing is, it's like in the plane, you need to put the oxygen mask first on yourself before you put it on the child. So money is just a fuel, it's energy, and you actually, by having more revenue, that means you can provide better service. You can hire people to help you in the background. And everyone should be well rewarded for their job. And people actually like to pay for quality service. They don't like to pay too little. Sometimes I will see some offer, and I said this actually to a book coach recently. I said, your program is too cheap. I would never hire you. Because I thought if I invest in a book coach, I'll have to pay a certain amount to actually make me do the work. If the program is too cheap, I'll just pay for the program, but not show up and not deliver my book, and then there's no book.
Yes, this happened to me once, and I was asked from a restaurant to make a concept for the menus, the vegetarian and vegan menus, and I was too cheap. And then they hired a male doctor who never cooked in his life, I'm sure, yes. And they paid him around 20 times more than I put in my calculation. And yes, sometimes you are too cheap that they take you serious.
Yeah. And so we women, overall, all of us, we need to value our work more. We need to find ways to go from the one-on-one, selling our time, to actually going over selling value, and then see how we can turn our freelance businesses or our time businesses into proper businesses, because that serves not just you personally, but the economy. It's a shocking fact that women-led businesses only contribute 4% of the total revenue.
Wow. But I'm happy that there are people like you with all your passion and your experience. And I know for Christmas time, you will have a free offer again. I think the 6 years or 7 years. How long are you?
Eighth
Eight
year.
years.
8th year.
Yes.
I am so excited. So 8 years ago, I was thinking how I could deliver massive value, like give something people, something amazing for Christmas. Basically, a gift. And instead of just one, 12. And I came up with the concept, 12 days of Masterclasses. And it's been so well received. People come back year after year, and we're offering it again. This time, all brand new. These are all brand new Masterclasses. And I'm looking forward to put all my hats on. I have here, I also have these glasses. I have a lot of fun with it. I go from the serious businesswoman who thinks about EBITDA and balance sheet and profit and loss and all these things and strategy to multiply your revenue. And I go into the fun Sigrun and offer you 12 60-minute masterclasses, pure content, no pitch. And we have masterclasses all the way from people beginning a business that have no idea what an online business is. We have actually a masterclass how to turn your knowledge into an online business. So that's for people who are just thinking like, is this for me? We also have a masterclass on how to figure out what your online course should be about for those who are like, oh, what should my online course be about? Also for people who are further in business and like, how can you work in your zone of genius and outsource the rest to a team? And then for those who are maybe even further or just curious to see behind of my business, the real truth, I will hold nothing back. What happens in a multiple 7-figure business and how I got there in the first place. So lots of juicy content, 12 different masterclasses for all ranges of people that are interested in online business.
Wow. Yes, I'm really looking forward because every year one or two masterclasses I do not know, and Christmas time is the perfect time to look some videos. I always use between Christmas and New Year to clean my office desk and to make a new vision board and to think, what did I achieve in the last year? What are my goals for the next year? So this fits completely in this time to make the strategy for next year. And there will be a 13th masterclass with me, with everybody who looks via my link. So I can also say I have a gift for everybody. Yes.
Yes, I bring 12 gifts and Claudia has one gift, and your gift will be something amazing too.
Yes, it's more and more my learnings and my stories and everything. So that's really great, and congratulations that since 8 years you are doing this, because I know you help so many people, and I think I promote the 12 days masterclasses since 3 years, and I get so nice feedback that people use it, and it's real content. It's very valuable, and it's amazing that you give this for free. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yes, and I'm very excited for all the people that are going to take advantage of this.
Yes, and I can really recommend to go in it and check your business if you want to go from offline to online, or you want to have a mixture, whatever, or you want to scale your business, you will really find something.
Yeah, something for everybody.
Yes, it's really for everybody, and it's always so inspiring. So great. Anything else you want to mention, Sigrun?
I just want to say that everyone can build an online business. And often people think like, yeah, but not me. These are different people. No, we've had so many great success stories come out of the last 2 years. People thought they couldn't teach opera singing online, sewing classes, styling, interior design, you name it. Anything is possible. And you can take what you know, what you've learned, your expertise, what you have studied, and you can turn it into something that you teach to other people. And everyone has something they can give.
Yes, that's true. And there's one sentence I always like from you, and I want to say it. If I can do it, you can do it. And that's really true. And the community and the support, we support each other. And it's, if you see that somebody can do something, it helps you to believe in your dreams, to go the next step. And with the support of the community and the support of you, it's quite easy.
Yeah, it is, Claudia. You are the best example.
Yes. Thank you so much for this chat. I really enjoyed it. And thanks for your insights, your tips. And yes, let's do the 12 days of masterclasses. See you
Let's
there.
do it.